Hey, so it's been a little while, as it tends to be. I was away for a while because I was dealing with computer issues, which I will now detail. Um, kind of what happened and how I overcame this great obstacle in my life. Um, I was just kind of using my computer as I normally do. And this is a Linux desktop. For those who aren't aware, um, so mileage may vary on the problems that you get at home, but it told me that it hasn't automatically updated in over a month, and that I should try to run updates manually. So I tried to do that. And every time I did, I just got a bunch of errors. Yeah. So I then tried to dig into what that kind of error might mean. And as it happens, my file system was corrupted. This is a BTRFS file system, or ButterFS. ButterFS? B tree file system? All the same. Yeah. Now, there are several things that could have caused this. It could have been the fact that I had my memory overclocked, and for a couple of weeks, I turned off an option in BIOS that makes the computer more stable when you have this enabled, so that my boot time would be faster. Probably shouldn't have disabled that because I got a bunch of blue screens of death on my Windows boot, and I got a kernel panic on my Linux boot. I disabled that after a relatively short period. Could have been the fact that I've had to power off my computer forcefully a few times here or there, or that it's lost power from a blackout. And that's happened a few times. It could have been from the issue that was in the kernel somewhat recently. Some of the kernel versions had problems with ButterFS corruption issues. Wow. Now that sounds familiar. Now, I don't know if those are the same issues that I was having. Maybe it was and maybe it wasn't. But yeah. It was it could have been any of those things, but I think what's important now is that I keep better backups. Now I have backups of my data, but as I learned, and as you will probably learn, I did not back this up very well. I was using Pika, which is like uses the Borg backup thing. Saves on space by removing like hard linking duplicates, which is cool. But it's difficult to restore gracefully from that because when I do, I get permission issues on a few specific files, and that's probably because those files are in use when I try to restore them. But in any case, it did lead to the problem where like I couldn't trust restoring cleanly from that, and if I can't restore cleanly from it, then what's the point? So this is something that I tested in the past and determined was insufficient, and I still didn't have a better solution. So I was going through and I did a scrub on my Btrfs file system, and it told me that there were like 8 uncorrectable errors. So then I went into a rescue disk and mounted it and did like not a repair, but like I think it was like a check. And that told me a little bit more. But it also told me that I essentially had like the worst kind of corruption. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what kind it was, but it was, from what I've been told, it was like the worst kind, like the kind that you really don't want to have. So my file system was essentially fucked. What's really funny though is that, as you may recall from earlier in the story, this was because it was unable to automatically update for over a month. Most of my data was just fine. It was just the parts of the file system that weren't working were the parts that were just provided by like Fedora. So it was just, I could just get those files again easily. It wasn't user data that was problematic. So I probably didn't lose any real data, any important data. Important to stay hydrated. So before I could attempt to do a repair, there was something I needed to do, and that is make a full backup of my system, of my disk. Not just like copy off files, but make a full disk image using a program called DD, what some call Disk Destroyer. And make a full image of it. Now my disk is a 2 terabyte NVMe, so I need something not as big as 2 terabytes to hold that, because it can compress. You can compress this down by how much I wasn't sure, but you can compress it down. But I would need something bigger than the 1 terabyte drive that I had lying around. I actually have 2 1 terabyte drives lying around, but I can't just like pull them together, unfortunately. I mean, I could with enough mad science, but I'm not gonna like risk my data that way. All right, so the problem then becomes I need to do a full backup of my system, but I don't have anywhere to store it. I bought a 6 terabyte hard drive. I actually bought a few for reasons that I will go into later, but I bought a few. I'm using one of them. I hooked it up to and put it inside my PC, inside the case, hooked it up, and I'm actually using most of it now because I've copied data in many different ways since I've hooked it up. Most of it's all the same data though. I made a backup. That backup took almost 1 terabyte. So if I wanted to store it on my other 1 terabyte drives, I'd have to take everything off those drives, which I'm not doing. I'm using them. One of them was the one I was storing my Pika backup stuff on, so it was actually like almost completely full. The other one, I had some other stuff on that I wasn't ready to just like go through and purge. So basically, it was a good thing that I got the new hard drive. Stored that image on there, and that was going to be my like backup point if any part of this restoration process screwed up, which, spoiler alert, happened several times. which I will now go into each way I tried to restore data and why it didn't work. So the first thing I tried to do is I realized that doing so from what I've heard, doing a check dash dash repair, I think it is, on your BetterFS is more likely than not going to ruin it. It's a very dangerous option for a reason. And frankly, I just didn't want to deal with the hassle of that not working and then having to restore the backup. By the way, each time I did a full backup or a full restore, because spinning Rust is so slow, it took about 2 hours, maybe a little less. So not a quick process, very much a back and forth thing, and I couldn't use my computer while that was happening. So it's kind of in like a limbo space anytime I was doing one of those steps. So I skipped trying to do the check dash dash repair or whatever the hell it was. I'm not gonna try to just ruin my stuff like that. So what I did instead is I did a BetterFS send. So what you can do is you can send a subvolume to another subvolume, and it will make the subvolume somewhere else. Or because it sends it as a data stream, you can just send it into a file, right? You can take all of your subvolume stuff that's over here, and you can just put it into a little file somewhere, like on a 6 terabyte hard drive, for instance. So that's what I did. I did that for the var, the /var subvolume and the /home subvolume, which is technically that result resides within var, but whatever. It's not that important of a distinction. Because I don't want these to take up too much space, as I sent them, I compressed them with ZSTD. More water. Now, that process went not too terribly slow. I think the home took up, after it was compressed, about 700 something gigabytes. Which is quite impressive, actually. It makes me wonder, did I not really have that much stored on my Windows side as I thought? Probably, actually. That's probably what it was. I don't know how it was just compressing so well, but it was. Uncompressed, by the way, that was closer to 900. So yeah. Wait, it's did I just not have any? Okay, the math there actually doesn't add up. A 900 gigabytes compressed for the full disk, or 900 for just home, whereas the full disk includes root and also a lot of stuff on Windows. I don't know, actually. I don't know why. Maybe there were some duplicate files there. There shouldn't have been a lot of duplicate files, but maybe there were. Maybe some stuff just compressed really, really well. I don't know. The math doesn't add up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that the math doesn't add up. I wish it did. I wish the numbers added up. This whole thing was so confusing. I couldn't possibly make heads or tails of the numbers at this point. But anyway, the home subvolume compressed down to 700, and the var one was I don't know, 2 or 3 gigs. It was pretty small. So I did that. I was like, okay, cool. Now I'm going to go onto Linux, and I'm going to blow away my Linux install and reinstall it. Just from scratch. Because that is the surest way of fixing any file corruption stuff, is to just get rid of the entire file system and start from scratch and just make sure that I don't mess it up this time, right? Well, yes. So I did that. And then I put my var subvolume back onto it. It's a very, very cool process. Something like this would make me think highly of ButterFS if it weren't for everything else. But, and then I went on to home and I started decompressing that to make that onto a new, like, subvolume. And ZSTD, when it was attempting to decompress the file that it compressed earlier just fine, gave me an error. It gave me an error as if the thing was corrupted. Not the file system. Remember, this is just a stream of data that ZSTD successfully compressed, but now cannot uncompress. It would be like if you compressed like a movie file or something, and then you went to decompress it and I was like, sorry, I can't do that. So I don't know what this is. Something's wrong with this thing. It's really messed up. That was really bad. That was a really bad sign. That was a really bad sign for a couple reasons. One, it meant I had to go back and do a lot of these steps again. And two, it meant I couldn't be sure why it was having an error. I still don't know why it's having an error, but I tried to figure it out. So before I reinstalled everything, again, I ran memtest. And what memtest does is it tests the memory of your system to see if it might be prone to any issues. Issues that might cause you problems with corruption in any of your data. So I ran this. I let it do its default 4 passes, all of the default tests, and that took about 26 hours. It took 26 hours to run this to see if my overclocked RAM was itself an issue, even though I had the stuff in BIOS enabled to like keep it stable. 26 hours later, it all passed. My memory was not the issue. My memory was actually really, really good. Which I'm happy with, but it meant that we still don't know why why ZSTD couldn't decompress its own file. My best guess is that when ButterFS was sending it to a data stream, it like sent something that was so bad that anything trying to decompress it would think, oh, this can't be right, and had like an error. Like maybe it was like several end of file markers in a row or something. I don't know. I didn't want to dig into it too much because I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. Remember that each of these steps takes hours to do. The mem test took 26 hours. And what I had to do now is I had to take the old disk image I had taken closer to the beginning of this ordeal and put it back on, copy it back on. That took 2 hours. And then I had to go and send my home subvolume to a file stream again, but this time not compress it, because apparently if I try to compress it, ZSTD is going to give me an issue. So fine, we're going to do the same thing we did earlier, but without compressing it. Whatever. That went fine. I mean, it went okay. It took a while, but it went okay. And then I reinstalled Linux again and did the thing I did before, loading the var subvolume and the home subvolume from their respective data streams. And that time, I was able to load them. Except, that's not entirely what I did. After I made the data stream of the home subvolume, but before reinstalling Linux, I also just did an rsync of my entire home. Because if loading in the home subvolume didn't work this other time, I didn't want to have to go back to this another time. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to have my data in another form here in case that fails. So I reinstall Linux. And then I go to like put the home subvolume on, and I'm like, wait a minute. In between making the data stream and making the rsync thing, I actually deleted a lot of things I knew I wouldn't need to make it go faster. So it might go faster if I just do the rsync, attempt to rsync it over first, and if that fails, I'll load the subvolume. In hindsight, I should have tried to load the subvolume first, because it probably would have made something a little bit more reliable. But there's no guarantee that would have worked because of what happened next, which is after I rsynced my home data back and I switched my home directory to be the new home directory, I tried to log in as my user and it wouldn't log me in. It logged me in and then it crashed and logged me back out. And I did that a couple more times and the same thing happened. Nothing changed. And I was like, well, shit. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's the same data. It's the same data. Why can't I log in? I wasn't sure how to get the error logs for it, but at this point I was just exhausted. So what I finally decided to do is I would keep the home directory be what it was when I did the fresh install of Linux, and I just copied over some of the data, and then some of the data, and then some of the data, until I had most of my data restored. I did it a little bit at a time. Not a little bit, but like, I did it like 1 or 2 directories at a time. So that if something went wrong, I would know where it went wrong, how far to back up, and then like, I can dig into it. It's a bit of like a bisect. I did try to do like a diff on like some of the config files. Wasn't really able to find out anything significant. So at the end, I just never really got the, never found out why it wasn't logging me in properly. Probably some of the config files weren't up to date. Whatever. I didn't think 1 or 2 months of missed updates would do that. Because at this point, it's been a long time. At this point, it's been like a couple months. And I was just like, whatever. I'm exhausted. I've got most of my data back in place. I make my KDE settings, just set them back up manually. Maybe that's what the thing that wasn't working. Because that's one of the things I didn't copy over. It's one of the things I did manually. I don't know. And there are a couple other things that didn't work. One of the things that didn't work is that I couldn't. So what I was using for OBS previously was it was like a portable OBS portable edition or something like that, and it came with the one I used came with a whole bunch of like plugins like preloaded. That was set up by like a UJust script, which is the thing for like all this Universal Blue Fedora crap. And it like sets up this little like container, and then it runs all the stuff in the container. All that nerdy shit. It worked on my old system, but I couldn't get it set up on the new one because they got rid of the UJust script for it. I couldn't figure out how to set it up. And trying to set up the container again didn't work. That was really frustrating. because that meant I had to set up my OBS stuff from scratch. So, which is actually what I've done. So what I have here is I've reset up my OBS setup from scratch. I added a couple things, but some things are gone. The DVD screensaver thing that had Marie on it, that's gone. Actually, you know what? Let's go get her. Let's go get Marie. She deserves to be here with us. What is that going to be? Image? Yeah, image. Add new image. Marie blanket. Marie wearing her little blanket. Just go to my stream folder from when she's in Belgrade and she doesn't know what to do. So where are we gonna put this? We want to put this like, yeah, we'll put her like right, like there in the corner. That's just how it feels. Sometimes that's how it be. So yeah, the DVD little screensaver thing, that was a plugin that's gone. A lot of the plugins I can probably manually try to get back in depending on how they are built. The countdown timer was a plugin that's gone. I don't know, like, again, like I can probably attempt to get some of these back, or I can just move on without some of them. It turns out I wasn't using too many of them too seriously. A couple that I was using pretty seriously were the Pipewire ones. So I have to load the Pipewire plugin for like Pipewire audio so that I can load individual applications as their own like audio things, so that I can adjust them individually if I need to, mute them individually, and also so I'm not capturing my entire desktop audio, because as convenient as that can be, it also leaves one open to a lot of issues, like if Discord goes off, or if you leave a browser running. Oh, this music is interesting. I confused it for some other background noise. Oh, by the way, we're listening to Groove Salad in the background. VOD watchers probably can't hear anything because I don't have that show up for the VOD, because I don't know what the licensing stuff is for the Soma FM stuff, but I assume that I can't really just use it willy-nilly. There is stuff I know that I can use if I attribute it. I just have to set that up so that it shows the attribution when each song is playing. That's something I want to work on in the future. That way I can have my music playing in the VOD. Yeah. Goodness. Marie, why are you shaking your knife at me? Why are you shaking your knife at me? What do you have to be scared about? You didn't have to restore your computer from scratch. I suppose you had to defeat a lot of dolls in Belgrade, though. Yes, they're there. Can I hand tracking? Can I like? There we go. I can pat Marie. Give the Marie pats. It's gonna be okay. Shh. It's gonna be all right. Okay. There. She gets to stay there. Well, no, it's just really more of a horror thing. Really more of a horror show thing. So I guess, yeah. I shouldn't have minimized my thing to make that work because it'll freeze it, but whatever. So anyway, that's yeah, Marie's screen DVD Marie is gone, unfortunately. Timer is gone. I had to, there were some plugins I just can't live without. I managed to get them in. And yeah, that's where we are right now, as we're just like kind of vibing with a a little bit of what we had before, but not all of it. And that's why I haven't streamed in a while. I've been dealing with trying to fix my computer, and it went wrong at what feels like every single turn. The file system corrupted itself somehow. Shoot, there was something I was going to say at the end of all this. I probably already said it. The file system got corrupted. Oh, I almost forgot one of the things that went wrong during it. When I don't remember which part I was trying to do this for, but like when I was trying, so I was like, I'll rsync all of my data. I'll cut down on some of my home data, and then I'll rsync it over. I was like, cool, that's less data. That'll restore faster. I'll get quicker turnaround on figuring out if this step works or not. It's mostly like Steam games and like DCS Online and just other stuff I didn't need. Final Fantasy 14, which I don't have a current subscription for, so I didn't really need to play that. I didn't need to have it installed. I did that, and then I was like, but I could also make a new snapshot of this smaller home and try restoring that. And when I tried to export that to a stream, I tried to do the BetterFS send that to a stream into a file. It stopped at about somewhere around 200 gigs, which, by the way, there were 400 gigs that I needed. So it stopped about halfway through. And there was some sort of file system error. The drive I was putting this on is formatted ext4, by the way. Very stable and good file system, right? Partway through making that file, I got an error, and my file system was suddenly read-only. And when I tried to unmount it and remount it, it wouldn't remount. Hello? My files, my ButterFS file system was so fucked up that trying to send it into a file onto another, different, much more stable file system slightly fucked up that other file system. I was worried when that happened. I had almost destroyed any hope of getting any of the files on that disk back. I had worried that I had corrupted that disk and that all my backups were fucked. Luckily, that was not the case. But since that happened, that was one of the reasons I was like, maybe it'll be better to rsync my files than to try to like restore via ButterFS. Because right now, at this point, I am pissed. I am pissed off at ButterFS. Okay, I have been told that with the exception of RAID 5 and RAID 6, ButterFS is a stable file system now. It's stable. Companies are using it in production. It's so stable. It's good. It's stable. It's stable. Stable meaning probably like not changing the interface, but like how reliable is it? I don't know how reliable it is. For me, it's not very reliable. I was told that Fedora is a stable and good operating system. And yet, they shipped a kernel version that had this corruption issue in it. And ButterFS is changing enough that it has this corruption issue in it. What? Why? This is... So, things I was told are fine. ButterFS is fine. It's good. It's stable. Fedora is fine. It's good. It's stable. Evidently not stable enough that this problem happened to me, and I was not able to restore gracefully, like almost at all. And come to find out that, like, I don't actually know, like, I was barely able to get my data back. No, not barely. Okay, that's an exaggeration. I was able to get my data back, but it took a lot of manual intervention to get it there. I don't know what my backup plan is going to be going forward. It's probably not going to be Pika backup. I will probably keep running that as a sort of like, as a way to keep old versions of files around, so that if I accidentally delete something or accidentally modify something in a way that I don't like, I can go into there. Okay, we've reconnected. Okay. That was scary. So, oh gosh, I snapped and forgot what I was talking about. Many such cases. I legit forgot what I was talking about, though. Heck. The thing wasn't working, and that's why I hated it. The backups. So it's a good place to like keep files if I need to keep files, but like, if I mess up like big time and my file system becomes corrupted, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. I could use the built-in power of ButterFS and take snapshots and like send those snapshots. But first of all, I'm not gonna be keeping I'm not gonna be having a ButterFS file system as my NAS's file system. I'm not after this. Even though my NAS is gonna run Debian, not after this. Even though my NAS is gonna have like a UPS, not after this. Well, it's gonna have a UPS after this, but it's not gonna run ButterFS. I'm not gonna do it. So I can't just like send it from one file system to another. I'm gonna have to send it to like a file stream, which will hopefully not break like last time. Who even knows? So I don't even know if you can. I know you can do incremental backups with ButterFS, but can you do that and have it be like setting a file stream? That's what I would want, but I don't know if you can do that. If you can't do that, then it's not very useful. If I can't do that, then what I have to do is I have to take, like, I don't know, one snapshot per what? Like, we'll say one snapshot per week. Could be less often than that, actually. It could be a little bit less often than that. If I've got all of my files in Pika, then what I could do is I could try to browse them and try to sort by any files that are like newer than a certain date. I could do that. I could keep the snapshots all internal, and then if the whole thing dies, then I'm screwed anyway. I'm not going to do that. I don't know. I have to figure out a new backup solution that I know is going to work in a pinch, quickly. And the worst part is I have to test it. And you know what testing it's going to take? Hours. Okay. So I mentioned a NAS. I don't currently have a NAS, but I'm going to build one. I'm going to talk about that after I take a quick break. Though I want to like, hold on. I need to make a BRB screen for this so that like, okay, so this is going to be copy, paste, duplicate, and then remove, and then this is going to be BRB. And this is going to say, all right, properties, it's going to say be right back. And that's going to be the BRB screen. And we're going to go to that screen. Beep. I returned. I had a sneaking suspicion that I would be caught in the middle of taking my break. My idle meeting. But hi, welcome in, Autumn. It's good to see you. I was just talking about my file system corruption issues, and am now going to be moving on to discussing what I'm going to do for building my NAS. Talking about how cute your Abby is. Hey, you're lucky I don't have the thing. I haven't made the thing for making my model blush when I smile yet. Which might be coming next week, or it might be coming a little bit later than that. Hard to say. It won't be a lot of work, but no, not lucky. I need to see blush Panavatar now rush though. Aww. Yeah, I mean I really want to like make it, but like it shouldn't take that much coding, and like it'll probably take like maybe like an hour or so. But there's another thing I want to also do, which is I need to fix the smile shape key on this. Because the smile shape key that was built in is only one that includes both the left and right sides together as one. So what I have to do, and so media pipe, quick avatar, like side tangent. We'll get back to NAS stuff in a sec. Media pipe gives the information as to smiling amounts on the left and right side independently. But the shape keys that came with this are only like unified. So what I have to do is I have to break it up into a left and right side so that I can control them properly. Because I don't know if you noticed this, but like my smile isn't like a lot. It's a little bit, it's gradual, but it should be a lot. I can do this. And that's about as much as I can smile. That looks pretty smile. Thank you. I'm glad that you like it. But I think it will look better if it has that done to it, and I just need to do that. But if I do that, doing that has to be done like in Blender, and I can either do it to the head before it's supposed to go on the body, or I can do it to the head, like basically at the completed model. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't match how the mouth can open when talking, so I think you're right about the smile change. Yeah. So I think what I want to do is I want to modify it on the base head before it's been added to the body. And then I'm going to go through the process of re-adding it to the body. And then while I'm doing that, I can go through the process of making the changes I want to for October, which are like, make it like Signalis. B Jane Signalis. And when you consider all of those factors together, that's a little bit more work. That's more than an hour of work. So maybe I should just do the blush thing first. Yes, it's Blocktober. Definitely is what that says. Head empty. Bah. Hunter Tutober. Yes, it just shows asterisks for me. I don't know about the rest of y'all. No, I get it. Look, when I was young playing RuneScape circa 2002, yeah, or 2001 or 2002, I fell for that. Now, no one caught on and hacked my account because of it, but I fell for it. Yeah. So, little Tyke Pan was just a little novice in internet safety, and just blurted out their password in RuneScape chat. Yeah. So normal RuneScape chat experience. It really is. That game was something. Yeah, I'll probably implement the blush just the blushing this week, since that's in a different, that's like code I'm writing for Snack Studio, and then I'll do the model changes after. Oh, but it's like, whew, it's September 19th, 2025. It's getting close to October. I need to hurry up, don't I? I'm not too worried about it. I mean, most of the work was figuring out how what I was doing didn't work in Blender. Also, one thing I want to do is I want to figure out how to get my entire thing working just in Blender instead of having to do it in Unity, so I can do all of my work on my Linux side instead of having to go back to Windows to use Unity. Yeah, the eyebrows are like one of the only things that tracks like perfectly. Hold on. Okay, there's supposed to be like an eyebrow lift. Maybe if I take my glasses off. You can see one eyebrow go at like a little angle. That's as good as it gets. I'm like moving my eyebrow like a significant amount to get it to do that. And it's just like, boop. Okay, the glasses are back on. Oh, this is like perfect for like I'm putting my headphones back on. Right. So I'm gonna build myself a NAS. What I've got for this is I've got the 3 6TB hard drives that I bought previously. One of which I'm using currently to store all of my stupid backup images. Most of which are, I guess, useless now, but whatever. The other one is going to contribute to that pool to make it a 12TB data pool. And then the last one is going to be a parity drive. I'm not using a normal RAID system. I'm using Snap RAID, which is simpler. Well, maybe it's not simpler. It's not done at like the file system level. It's done at more of like the user level. I don't know. It's a little bit of a higher level thing that's not as technical. It is, I would say it is a little bit simpler, but it also makes it so that I don't have to like do a lot of complicated stuff. Like, I don't know how ZFS works, and Btrfs has already caused me problems. But like, this system sounds easy because I don't have to learn a whole new freaking file system and how it works to make sure I'm doing stuff correctly. You just plop it in. You say, this is my parity drive. It says, okay, if any of your drives go bad, your data will not be lost. Wink, wink, wink. Okay. There's got to be a way to like write some code so that winking works better. Blink, 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 blink. Right. And I'm using some other thing to like make the drives like a pool of data. So that'll be relatively simple. It's simple enough that you can just use an existing already set up drive data. You don't have to like reformat it or anything. You're just like, oh yeah, just plug it in. It's like, okay, well, I combine them and now they act as one. Yay. It's going to be running Debian because Debian is more stable than Fedora is. Fedora, why? Why have you forsaken me? I'm going to be running a program called, I think it's like Open Media. That is how you pronounce Debian, yes. It is pronounced that way because it was... I think it was founded by a guy named Deb, or not a guy named Deb, a guy named Ian and his wife Deb. I think that's what the story is. So it's Deb, Ian, Debian. Yeah, fun fact. Learn something new every day. I have heard some people pronounce it differently. Free to pronounce it however you want. I don't care. But I believe that's how they pronounce it, and that's why I pronounce it that way as well. Is because of that. It also does sound a lot more like lesbian when we say it like that. I don't know. Wait, I don't know how you. Wait, have you been saying it? Does the way you say it also sound like lesbian, or do you just say, "Oh, it's lesbian OS"? Is that because that's also like correct? That's morally correct to just call it lesbian operating system. Debian. Yes, the lesbian operating system. That sounds British. I feel like English folk would say it Debian. I've never heard it because I'm outside of the tech bubble. Oh, yeah, it's totally fine. Yeah. I'm so used to British people pronouncing things differently that anytime someone just pronounces something different to how I'm used to, even if they're not like British, I just was like, yeah, that's fine. Debian on Tuesday, innit? Why? What governor you got in your Debian? Oh, so I'm all fresh out of Debian. Start speaking in increasingly cursed accents around you. Look, I can have outrageous accents out the wazoo. Haven't tried to do many funny Canadian accents since like with my voice training, but like I'm gonna work on those. I'm gonna give some cursed Quebecois accents. And you're gonna hear about who calls on hockey night. I do terrible at accents, but my brother can do a shockingly good South African one. Like like what's his name? Except not really like what's his name. Not at all. I'm kind of excited to do the Signalis avatar. Tabernacle. What was the name of it's like Open Media Vault. Open Media Vault is the thing that I'm going to use for hamburgers. Open Media Vault is the name of the like server software I'm going to be running on top of Debian. For the NAS, it's going to make managing it a little bit easier. It's kind of like an equivalent of like, what's the one that everyone uses? Everyone's always using like True NAS or something like that. It's kind of like that, but like not as good. But it's still supposed to be like okay. I don't know. It seems like a good compromise between literally configuring every single thing myself versus like paying to have something that works out of the box. I don't really want to pay more money. I already paid a lot of money for the discs. I do still need to get a drive enclosure for my discs. But I will probably get that like after the holiday season. In the meantime, I can just sit on this stuff. I got my one drive that I needed, my one hard disk drive that I needed to like quickly throw a whole bunch of stuff on. So I've done that. And I bought the other ones because it was a good deal. It was a good deal, okay? It was a good deal. It's hard for me to resist a good deal, okay? Look, I see the word sail, I go nuts. Not nuts. It's a bit of a sanest thing to say, but I really like it. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna set that stuff up. I'm gonna be reusing an old laptop. It's actually not that old. Actually, I don't know. It was the laptop I was gonna bring with me on that trip, but I couldn't get it working in time. I'm just gonna repurpose it as the NAS. It's got a battery built in, so it's like a built-in UPS. Power goes out, it can gracefully shut itself down. Excellent. You go testicles. Why are we rooting for Team Testicles? I eagerly await your response. Power goes out, NAS goes in. You can't explain that. Is that the aliens meme? I feel like that's the aliens meme. Is it go nuts? Oh yeah, you go. Yeah, I don't go nuts. I go testicles. The ancient philosopher who was from a different island than Lesbos. That was Bill O'Reilly. Oh yeah, no, I remember that now. The tie goes in, the tie goes out. You can't explain that. And he was talking to a guy who very much could explain that. I remember that. Was he talking to Neil deGrasse Tyson, or was he talking to someone else? He was talking to someone that was just tired of it. I also remember the "We'll do it live." Yeah. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just destroying my my Nodo cord, as it were. Yeah, I'm excited to get the Signalis thing going, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna model it after Colibri. I already have the hair picked out for that. It's gonna be all black hair. Let's just be honest. Or I could keep the same hair that I have now. I could. I like it. You got to play Signal, so I got good news for you. Although you already have it, so maybe it's not good news. But I'm going to be replaying it this October as my sort of like October game. It's not going to take me all of October, but I am going to play it in October because spooky month. So if you hadn't gotten around to playing it by then, you probably don't want to watch because of spoilers. Unless you want to watch anyway because you want to watch someone else play it and then play it yourself too. Look, I'm not going to tell you how to play your video games, okay? You can approach your games however you want. Sometimes I like to look up spoilers for some things before I play them because I know I'm not going to get that far. Sometimes I avoid spoilers because I know I'm going to enjoy the game not spoiling myself. Yeah, it's just everyone does their own thing, and it's cool that way. But I will be streaming my replay of it in October. I'm not gonna do like hard mode or anything like that. I'm just gonna be playing the same difficulty I did the first time, because I kind of like, I wouldn't say I barely got through it, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't too easy for me. So yeah. The model itself is not going to be a spoiler. It's just going to be like a Colibri. I'm going to have, it'll be fairly easy to do because there's like a body armor thing that's already modeled that I can use. That's roughly the right size because it's actually modeled for, okay, so you know how my VR chat avatar is a Signalis thingy? The body armor thing actually came with the assets, like the asset pack that I use, that the texture for. I just never got around to putting the armor part on, but it came with modeled armor. And the body that I'm using here, while the body is from Rauta and not Runa, they are roughly the same proportions. Maybe a little bit bustier in the chest for Rauta, but like when I've looked at them like one overlaid over the other, they're extremely close to the same. So I can probably still reuse the body armor since it's like it just moves all as one piece. It's one rigid piece. I don't have to worry about like the bones lining up or anything weird like that. I'm gonna use the body armor for that. I'm gonna do the texturing of the face myself. See if I can get like right here. See, right here is where I'm going to have like here and symmetrically on the other side. I'm gonna have the little bits of like cowl that like come up onto the cheek and like maybe the chin too. I'm not gonna do the thing across the face, the line across the face, because that warps too much with the eyes. So it won't look good in my opinion. It won't look good in motion. So I'm not gonna do the line thing. Maybe I'll do the thing for the nose. But maybe not. But what's really special is that I'm going to, so for the body, like the arms, you see the arms are already like, fine, can I get both hands? Yeah, the arms are already like this black armor thing. That I don't have to change, like at all. But where it meets the body, like on the bicep, well, I mean, it's a good place where it meets it, but like the rest of the body is flesh colored by default. I'm gonna make the entire body has to be like the same color as the arms. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make it look like black latex. Now that's really hard to do. Actually, what am I saying? Normally, that's impossible to do, to make any material look like actually good in VRM, because VRM only uses the M-Tune shader. Most of the materials don't look amazing. They look good, but they don't look amazing. You can't make stuff that's like amazingly shiny normally. However, M-Tune can use matte caps, material captures, which means that although the lighting will be a little bit, the lighting won't look quite right. Like it'll always be at like a very specific angle. Like the lighting will be baked in instead of something that can change. Like you see the shadows here. I can make it look like black latex. Wow. Sorry, bot. Good bot. Yeah, it's gonna look like black latex. I believe that this is something that can be accomplished with matte caps fairly easily. I don't know where I can find an existing latex matte cap, but I found a few tutorials on how to make matte caps in Blender. So since black latex is a relatively simple thing, like it's black and it's like a mirror shine. That's pretty simple, right? Like I can't fuck that up too much, right? So I'm gonna make a black latex matte cap, and that's going to make my body, not the arms, not the legs, not the face, but the torso. It's gonna make the torso look like black latex. It's gonna look, and then really when it comes to latex, something being made of latex versus something being coated in latex, there isn't much of a difference. Let's be honest in terms of looks, because there doesn't need to be like a part where it like stops. It's just the entire thing is going to be black latex, so it'll work. And then there's like some parts that I'll need to make look like white metal, because that's how they look like on Colibri. Oh, well, if you have any latex matte caps, send them my way, because the less I have to do, the better. So if you have anything already, I'm curious to like look at it. I don't know how easy it is to modify matte caps, but like if they don't do the trick for me, I can still like modify them maybe. I don't know. But yeah, feel free to send that stuff my way. I am happy to receive it. Plus then I can put you in the credits. Oh. Or unless you got the mat cap from someone else, in which case then I would credit that person. So yeah, most of the torso is going to be covered up by the armor, but like the outer shoulders are going to be exposed. The like lower belly is going to be exposed. Now part of the problem is that like the fleshy part does include like the groin and the hips. I can't show that on Twitch. So I'm going to have to still cover that with pants, which is not going to look very Colibri, but that's fine. It doesn't have to look super realistic. I'm not going to be showing my entire body the whole time, but like, yeah, I'm not gonna like try to skirt Twitch's rules by like doing that. So unfortunately, the latex hips are gonna have to stay under the wraps of pants. I mean, I can always show them off somewhere else, but like, not on Twitch. Not on Twitch. Most of the rest of it should work. I'm gonna put like the 3 diamond symbol that represents bioresonance. That's gonna go on the forehead. That I can probably just do by hand. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be real cool. I'm really excited for it. And I'm probably still gonna use it after October's over because it'll just look cooler than what I have. Now, what I have is pretty cute, sure, but I want something that also looks kind of cool. So if it comes out looking kind of mediocre, then I won't use it very much. But if it comes out looking the way I think it will, I'm going to be using it like all the time. It's going to basically be the next iteration of this model. Now, what I was thinking about originally for the next iteration of this model is having like a nice like off-the-shoulder sweater, maybe like a beanie as well. That would look really comfy and cozy. I could still do that, but if the Colibri looks really, really good, then I'm probably going to stick with the Colibri. Something I'd considered is just changing the Ranu, like just using the Ranu. Sweater Colibri. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm writing that down. Let me get a new sticky note. Ugly sweater. Oh my god, that's genius. Autumn, that's genius. What was it? Ugly Christmas sweater KLBR. KLBR is the 4-letter thing for Colibris. So I was running out of space on that line, so I couldn't write Colibri, so I just wrote KLBR. I don't know why I'm explaining this to chat. Ugly Christmas sweater KLBR. Yeah, I was afraid if I wrote Colibri on a new line, I wouldn't know that they were related concepts. I'd be like, how about instead of the ugly Christmas sweater concept, I just go straight for Colibri? And I'm thinking like, no, brain, they're the same thing. Yeah. Not just ugly Christmas sweater. I don't know if I could pull this off, but I kind of want to. I own a Halloween themed ugly Christmas sweater. It's just got like a pattern of like skeletons or like skulls and bone and like ribs like across it. It's really like, it's like the most goth ass fucking Christmas sweater thing I own. I fucking love it. I love wearing it on Halloween and then again on Christmas. If I can like make that the thing and like wear that would be perfect. You're cute. You're cute. Wow. I'm getting so excited. Okay, so making the smile thing again, or making the smile affect the blush again, that's only going to take a little bit of time. I can just pull that off, and then I can have blushies. It's fine. There's also other stuff I want to implement, but I really, really, really want to get the Colibri like done. I want to get the Colibri made because it's like kind of sensitive to the fact that I'm doing Signalis in October. So I want to have that done like pretty soon. So I can do the blush thing. I can implement the blush thing first because it's really quick. But then after that I gotta like move it. After that I gotta like only focus on the Colibri thing, and then I can focus on a lot of the other things that I want to implement in Snake Studio, like doing a custom like crappy blend tree, like hand built blend tree for like making my antenna move depending on my facial expression, and making it so that when someone in chat says wrench emoji, it actually just throws a wrench at my model. I think that would be fun. Yeah, I think that's all I have off the top of my head. But that first one's a lot of work. The blend tree thing, I worked on it like for a while, and then I kind of like gave up because I couldn't figure out how I wanted to implement it. I know how I want to implement it now. It's just going to be kind of tedious, but like that's probably not going to get done until like maybe December, maybe. It's going to be a busy season. I had said throw a broccoli emoji at you. I would like to also implement a thing that if someone says broccoli emoji, it throws a broccoli like object at me, but like it's a really slow, like it moves like it's like a balloon being thrown at me. So it just kind of like floats over and then like bumps off my head slowly. I think that would be fun. I think that would be cute. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to do. I'd like to be able to like have animations of my avatar like play depending on certain things, but that's going to require something a lot more complex and a lot more knowledge, a lot more in-depth knowledge of how good animations work in Godot and stuff like that, to be able to pull off. So I don't know if I'd actually be able to pull it off. Very cute. I also want to get the lip syncing thing to work. Someone made lip syncing. We were trying to get it to work for Digi, but we couldn't get it working in time because Linux audio issues. Surprise, surprise. This is the burden we bear running Linux. One of them apparently, and the other one was going to be file system issues. I used to be really proud of Linux's like handling of file system stuff. It used to be, actually, it still is mostly a better file system. My Windows and Linux are both on the same NVMe drive. My Windows loads Blender way slower than my Linux loads Blender. Clearly need to be using Haiku. What about Temple OS? Oyo. Yeah. Yeah, I know some obscure operating systems. What else? What else are we talking about? Okay, yeah. There's the lip sync thing. It mostly works, but there's some things I think it could probably use some work on, which is blending. So right now it just like either it'll give either the blend shapes for your visemes for what you're saying, or if you're not saying anything, then it will do the blend shapes for your tracking. But I think it should do both. I think it should blend them together because either one of them aren't super reliable. So, I I mean, actually, it's pretty reliable for like, well, okay, it kind of works for like VR chat. I don't know. VR chat probably does it in a certain way, or maybe you have to implement it. I don't know. There's some way to like blend them together so that like if I said something out of the corner of my mouth, the lip sync would like make it work, but also it would still look like I'm talking out of the corner of my mouth. You know? Like, I don't know. Temple OS is not being maintained anymore. I guess that's kind of a shame, although I don't know anyone who uses it, and I don't really know much else about it. So, but yeah, I mean, it's always cool to see like niche projects like be a thing. So when something stops being a thing, it does usually feel a little bit unfortunate. My hair correctly aligned? My hair could go back a bit. No, I need more water. I love how you can see my lips just like suck down on the straw, like wah. The joke because Nevertheless was made by one guy who had interesting takes on everything. He passed away a few years ago. So it's not maintained because oh, hold on. Readjusting in my seat. So it's not maintained because the project creator is no longer with us. Okay, and he may have had interesting takes. Look, I try not to dunk on too many people for their weird takes. Some people do have really weird takes, though. Firmly the J. Biblical themed lightweight operating system designed to be the third temple from the Hebrew Bible. It was created by American computer programmer Terry A. Davis, who developed it alone over the course of a decade after a series of manic episodes that he later described as a revelation from God. Well, good for him. We're all entitled to our hyperfixations. Personally, I like to see, you know what, I mean, you can't force someone to work on something. If someone uses their skill for that, that's cool, but like, oh, not actually interesting in that problematic way. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. I was worried that I was accidentally maybe defending someone who might have actually been problematic. Like the guy who made Riser FS. I told you about that, but I'm going to tell everyone else about that. I had the revelation the other day that apparently you can only work on Linux file systems if you like have like if you're like not well in some way. I'm not gonna say the first reason why I think that for privacy reasons, but the second reason, the thing that made me form a pattern about that was the fact that the guy who made Riser FS killed his wife. I think as recently as last year, Riser FS is no longer in the kernel, but it was in there for a long time because it was apparently technically a very excellent thing. It's just that, like, yeah, the guy killed his wife. Like, what the hell? Hans Riser, if you're looking for a Wikipedia article. I hope that me saying Wikipedia article does not one day become like a dated thing. I know that like everything else in this is probably going to date this way more, like Fedora operating system. Who has even heard of that? But like I hope that Wikipedia continues to be a thing long into the future because it deserves it. It's good. Wikipedia is good right now. I hope it doesn't like take a tumble of like it gets taken over by someone and then like becomes shitty. Like happened to like Twitter. I guess Twitter was already kind of a little bit of a cesspool, but it was like a livable cesspool. But then like it got bought and it became an unlivable cesspool. So yeah. I'm going to write more about the creator of Temple OS. The best way to summarize it is the Wikipedia page where it has the top of the related section a link to creativity and mental health. You know, some of the best artists have been seen as having mental health issues. So you know what? Yeah. Cheers. what was this guy's name? Terry A. Davis. Rest in peace, Terry A. Davis. I hope that you found what you were looking for, and I hope that you had fun working on the operating system, because that, you know what? Yeah. I'm totally not just trying to like be super like lenient against this guy because I'm gonna start my own cult one day. I certainly wouldn't like start a cult for myself and then also do technical work. Who would think about doing that? That would be who would, not me, not me. Certainly not me. I wish scratching my head actually looked like scratching my head and not bringing my hand near my head. You know, I could probably improve my lighting situation in here and my tracking would improve drastically. And then I probably wouldn't need the lip sync thing. Yeah, I think if I like put a light up there, because I have a ring light, but that like focuses all the light onto my face in like a washed out way. So my face is entirely lit, but my background is entirely like dark by comparison. So it like looks really washed out. But like, I think if I lit everything well, because I've used Snake Studio in person, like in a well lit area, and it works really well. The tracking works really well if you're well lit. Listen, if a cult paid my rent, I'd join it. Yeah, fair. As long as it's not like a death cult, right? Because then they don't let you leave and you're like, ah, damn. But like, yeah. Imagine the plight of being like a goth who wants to just wear like no colors, who also loves looking at vibrant colors. Can you comprehend this like juxtaposition that is my mind? I can't. I'm like type of goth who loves color but is also allergic to color. Hi, same? Yeah. Okay, so you do get it. You get it. You get it. You get it. It's like, and I feel like the colors that I like change depending on either what mood I'm in or just what art I'm looking at. Goth that dates a clown girl. Yes. Yes. 100%. Here for it. I need more water. All right. Okay, so I talked about my file system and I talked about... Okay, so... There's something going on with my voice training that I need to, like, do something about. I used to be able to talk with this voice for, like, hours, and then it would get tired. Now it gets tired a lot sooner. I feel like it got a little bit of strain. Sometimes the strain comes very quickly. And also sometimes when I talk, there's, like, a little, like, click in like my ear tube. I've heard that can be not too common or not too uncommon. It's not an ear infection because it's been like this for months, but like there's something going on. There's something going on. I'm straining when I talk. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna do more vocal, like I'm gonna pay for another vocal lesson. And I'm gonna see if I can fix this like strain issue that like I'm going through and like make it so that I can have a voice that I can talk with all the time without these issues. hopefully get a little bit closer to my goal voice, but honestly, I just needed to be more comfortable. That's all I need. Robot! It's me, the robot. I have robot. I can show the tush, not like the raw booty, but like the posterior. That's look at that. Robot. Robot. Get my hands out of the way here. It is neat. Also, I like the little, like, chain. Little, like, yeah, it's good. Wait, I want to go like this. All the way down. Oh, no feet. Y'all are cute. Oh, something I don't know if I showed it off last time, but like, yeah, I got a little like spine thing going on there. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Okay, I think it's even. Oh, okay. I think that's even. That even? Who knows? I don't even know what's even or not anymore. Oh well. This thing has like a fully modeled like endoskeleton. I've thought about having that, like showing that off during Halloween. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make it so that there's like a toggle to like go to a different material that's transparent for the torso, and that will allow showing off the endoskeleton. But I'm not gonna like have a toggle for taking off any of the clothes to show more of it, because I don't want to actually I don't want to accidentally take the clothes off and then show the skin again and then oops, TOS. So but it will look kind of cool. I think it'll actually look even cooler being like semi-transparent instead of like fully transparent. I should reverse the left-right channels of your mic input. That was another thing that I had. That was one of the plugins that I had for my old OBS setup, is that I had like an audio pan, if you'll excuse the play on words there, an audio pan mod where I could swap the left and right channels. Because I am using a stereo microphone, and I wanted it to reflect where I was on the in relation to stuff. Another thing, actually, it wasn't really much of an issue before, because this is actually the first time I'm using the mirroring. So if I go to this, oh gosh, that's so weird. Unchecking the mirror thing is so weird. Now it should be correct on the correct side, not because I flipped the microphone, but because my tracking is now no longer mirrored. And I do it this way because if I go to camera positions and I go to camera position, was it camera position 1? No, camera position 2. Go to camera position 2. This is what I was like when I was gaming. So that, because I have chat to my left, right where I'm staring at, so I could like look at, when I look at chat, it looks like I'm looking directly at the viewer. And then I like look back at the game, and that's how I had it set up. Yeah. And that way you can also tell that I got the booba. I got the jiggle. Because you can't see that very well straight on. Oh, you can kind of see my little neck thing in the back, actually. That's kind of cool. So I do like this position. Yeah, the background's animated. This is a... I don't know, if you look up on YouTube server 188, which you can see in the upper corner there, or the upper corner there, the upper left corner, it says server 188. I think if you search for that, you'll find it. It says some Creative Commons licensed thing, so I can just use it the way I am using it. Except that I tinted the color on it. But again, you know, I can do it that way. And I just took part of it, and then I made a loop out of it. See a mouse cursor on the walkway. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. What mouse cursor? What mouse cursor? Also, I'm gonna... Let's go back to position 1. Oh no. Let's go back to position 3. And, mirror, please. Mirror, It's like, if it's that close to being like head on, having it not be mirrored is like painful to my brain. But if I had it like at the angle like I had earlier like that, it not being mirrored is not, it's not terrible. I changed the clipping so it works in page now. Oh yeah, they changed the clipping. Yeah, it works a little bit better. Don't forget to put it in your channel credits. Oh. Yeah, let me do that. Credit chat server 188 background. Yeah, I don't remember what the credit stipulation of it was, but it's always good to give the credits anyway, even if they don't require you to give the credits, because it's just nice. It's just like, I give the credits, right? Like, I didn't make it, and I don't want people thinking that I made it. I want people to know it came from somewhere else, just in case they want to see more. It's just polite. Even if they don't require it, it's just polite. Good bots provide the source file. I'm hoping that's what that say. I don't know what it actually says. It got eaten. I wonder what it says. The credit.md file. Yeah, it thought it was a URL because it was just a word dot another word, which is kind of silly, but Twitch is like that. Yeah. I've written that down. Oh, the cool idea that Autumn came up with. So the idea that I had for October is that I'm gonna be a Colibri, from Signalis. And the cool idea that Autumn had is that instead of just putting on a comfy sweater afterwards and having a completely different model, is I should have an ugly Christmas sweater Colibri. So yeah, it's gonna be that. Oh, were you flustered about, what was it about, the thing getting eaten by Twitch? Getting eaten. What would that be like? I bet it feels really good for the URL to get eaten by Twitch. And you can take that clip to the bank. Yeah, I don't even know what else I was talking about. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna go back to voice training for a little bit and hopefully get rid of some of the, like, I don't really feel an issue with it right now, but I'm like, every time I try to get up to like using my voice and I'm like not used to it, sometimes it'll get like a little rocky and I'm just like, what the hell? It feels like it's like not muscle memory. And then I do it for a little bit and it's like, okay, now I'm back to muscle memory. Like, I don't know. I'm running it back on my voice training this week after 2 weeks off due to a cold. Yeah. It's really, I don't know. There's a certain way I want to sound, and I feel like I don't currently sound like that, and I don't know. Hi Digi, welcome in. I've finished info dumping about my file system woes and about how I'm gonna make my NAS. So we're just talking about random robot stuff, boring URLs, and yeah, voice training, I guess. What else are we talking about? I'm not going to talk about it too much because I don't want to spoil anyone on it, but I did see the Knights of Guinevere pilot. It was good. It was pretty cool. I really like it. Really happy with the robot stuff going on. Yeah, excited to see more. I think that's all I can really say on it. It's good. It's good. So many good bots here. Wow, 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 wow. Well, it's a good toy. It's a good toy dragon, is what it is. That's why you're surrounded by good bots. Is you're a good toy. Yeah, get beeped at aggressively. I don't know if you've realized this. Maybe you have, but you're currently surrounded by a hive mind. Yeah, everyone surrounding you right now is part of the same hive mind. So, yeah. Get key smash to your heart's delight. I guess I can turn off this settings menu. I also am wondering if I should change the shape key to blend shape activation to be able to look more smug when I close my eyes a little bit. Maybe that's something I will work out later after I've improved my lighting situation. I have an interest in being a toy for a hive mind. Ooh woo. Yeah. Notes are being taken here. All those noises you made when you hung out last night, the hive mind heard that. Yeah. These antennae were made for listening. Eyebrow wiggle. If I get the blend tree, the custom like manually implemented blend tree thing working, my antennae will wiggle when I wiggle my eyebrows. There's really good things happening in my chat. This is good. This is good things to happen in my chat. I like this. Toy dragon hides its face. I mean, we're still here and we can all see how cute you are, so you can hide your face all you want. Wink. This is true. It does deserve this kind of treatment, yeah. Oh, shout out to any VOD watchers. These chat members all know each other a priori, so yeah. This is normal behavior between these folks. Being called out. Yeah. And look, if you'd rather not, I can cut this from the VOD and there can just be a mysterious fast forward through this segment, but I mean, I'm cool with keeping it in. That way we know that Toy Dragon is in fact cute, for the record. First one is keeping it into the hive mind. Well, I'm cool with keeping it in. I think this is pretty cool. This is pretty good. Beep. Excellent. Wahahaha. That's true. The famous Voices of the Void episode where it devolved into talking about plant girls. I seem to remember that one ending on the line, "Don't look at me like that." And the Satisfactory series. Oh, the Satisfactory series didn't even that one was pretty unhinged. It didn't really make it to the VOD archive, did it? Yeah, we haven't hit Satisfactory levels. I think the Satisfactory levels are, I mean, it's okay for my channel, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I think the problem with the satisfactory stuff is that it was getting to untasteful levels when we prefer tasteful things. And I'm actually still in like agreement on like when it's tasteful, it's good. Do a new satisfactory series at some point to cleanse that experience. We'll have to see if we can do that. I don't know. There's like something inherent to satisfactory about like the I wouldn't say the boredom, but just like the lack of like events that happen on screen that make chat go like nuts. I'm sorry, make chat go testicles. You want to satisfactory. Satisfactory has not been found to be satisfactory. I mean, the game itself is satisfactory, but the surrounding chat is very not satisfactory, and very much not about satisfactory. You believe in the power of friendship, that it can be satisfactory. I applaud that. We put unfitting music over it. There might be a way to like mod the game to make it so that like other stuff is happening. Fine boom noise when you shoot the rebar gun. Yeah, exactly. Could like, oh, Sea Shanty 2 in the background at all times. Sold. I'm in. On repeat. And like every loop, it gets like a little bit different. Maybe like 1 decibel louder, or like it gets like a little bit of like distortion put on it. I don't know, something. maybe not that quite cursed. I don't know. My mind goes to like cursed stuff like instantly. I think of like, how can something devolve further and further into madness? Bass boosted by 1%. Ooh, I like that. Mod the game to synchronize every machine in the factory to the song. Yes. Oh my gosh. Low-key love playing Space Station 14 because I can grab an instrument and then go spinning through station always playing Sea Shanty 2 MIDI file. Good. And something you could do in Final Fantasy 14 is if you were a bard, you could play like, you could just bust out your instrument and play whatever like notes you wanted. And what people would do is they made a mod that let you just like load a MIDI file and it would just play that in the game through the instrument. So you would get people in like camping themselves in the capital cities and just playing like the theme to, or was it like Still Alive or like pop music or just stuff like that. And it was really good. I even figured out how to do it as well. And I did it like a couple times and I got bored of it. Pitch bend every note by X%, where X increases by 0.1 every loop. Well, that'll get the child doll out of the vending machine and try to start a paternity suit with the captain. Figure out how to clown. Need to get playstyles that isn't just myself insert or old man Gerald Arizard. I mean, I could play that on stream, but I don't know if it would get like, yeah, I don't know. I'd have to like pull it up on YouTube. I shall possibly do this on a future stream. Can we get Sea Shanty 2 in minor key on stream, please? Sea Shanty 2 in minor key. All right, well, you asked for it, so I will do this. Sea Shanty 2 minor key. I've never heard this before, by the way. Oh, why is there a whole archive of 69 videos? I want Sea Shanty 2. Okay, question. Do you have a link to a specific one do you want played? Is it Buffalo Strong Clown? Oh, man, so you can find one? Okay, good. I'm gonna add application audio capture. I'm just gonna YouTube. It's gonna be application. It's gonna be Firefox. It's gonna be there. And it's going to be not. It's gonna be only on tracks 1 and 5, so it does not go to the VOD. Okay. Oh, and you'll have to send it to me on like Discord because I have links turned off for like everyone. Moral of the story is that at some point I'm playing Space Station 1314 because shenanigans. Also, while you look for that, I'm gonna take a quick idle meeting. Gonna be real quick. I returned. Okay, let's see. It's a wild one. Can't find one. Okay, can't believe Pan is updating to Windows 11 midstream. No. No, I would never update to Windows 11 midstream. I don't even know if I'm going to update to Windows 11 at all. I'm hesitant to because I feel like I don't want the bad stuff that comes with it. But also I don't know if staying on an unsupported unsupported operating system is going to like come back to bite me. It's hard to say. You gotta run. Thanks for chatting. Yeah, bye. If you're still here, bye. If not, then like, bye from the past. Woo. Oh, you're still here. Okay, bye. Toy found one. Okay, link incoming. Okay. Discord. Oh, I like closed Discord entirely. Wow. Links. Okay. Okay, this is the one I will do. It's the thing that Autumn DM'd me. Makeup goals, yes. And then the matte caps, okay. And then the thing from Digi, okay. So much. Risky Sea Shanty 2, but you forgot 3GP and now you're sad. Oh yeah, because you need 3GP to get the boat. Okay, so OBS, chatting. So we will mute. Oh, actually, we're gonna mute it here because I don't want to hear it. I can't just mute it on stream. I don't want to hear it either. The current background music, not Sea Shanty. Should play RuneScape. Should play Renescape again sometime soon. Oh, there's a okay. So Toy, I don't know if you know this, but there's a thing called 2009scape. It is an open source re-implementation of RuneScape circa 2009. I don't know if that might be of interest to you. It's obviously it's free, but there is the drawback that not all of the quests are implemented. So it's kind of one of those, you know, issues that I tend to bounce hard off of MMORPGs. Yeah, the issue with me is that I tend to stick to RPGs a little too much. All right, let's see if this will play. It's a little loud. There we go. Older school RuneScape. Oh, wait. VOD watchers aren't going to hear this. That's too bad. You'll just have to show up to the stream. This is so good. I wish I had like a little crying thing. My right ear is really enjoying this. Gonna have to walk back to Janor Bank and get your 30 GP so you can get back on the ship. You could also go to Falador Bank. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. When you're happy, you listen to the song. When you're sad, you listen to the lyrics. Yeah. Moving lyrics on that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good one. It's good to stay hydrated. So, I do the opposite of with MMORPGs. I stick to them a little too much. I at least RPGs of yore, they're a little bit different now. But RPGs of yore, I would get addicted to them really, really easily. And yeah, they developers of a lot of the popular MMORPGs were really good about getting the dopamine like game cycle figured out and tuned in so that the games were meant to be addicting. And my ADHD fell for that hard. Those things are so bad for me. I had to unsubscribe from Final Fantasy 14 because it's too like even that game, which is not meant to be super addicting. It's really easy for me to get hooked in. In case you didn't realize, my hair is actually ripped straight from Final Fantasy 14. The Styled for Hire hairpiece. That's how much I love that game. Now, I do owe that game my egg cracking. But that doesn't mean that I have to owe all of my time to it. But games like World of Warcraft, RuneScape, Final Fantasy 14, probably one other I might be forgetting. But yeah, I stick to MMOs a little too well. So I try not to let myself play them anymore because I just kind of get into them too much. Now, there's nothing wrong with hyper focusing on a good hobby, but like with an MMO, even if you're making friends there, it's still not a great use of your time. They're also meant to be time sinks. They give you stuff to do so that you stay subscribed and pay the monthly fee so they make monies because it's their job. That's how they make the monies. But for someone with a brain like mine, it's just I can't do that. I can't let myself do that anymore. There may come a day where I come back to Final Fantasy XIV and catch up more with the quest, the main quest, but I don't know. I don't know if I will because it's I don't know. I don't know. It takes a lot of time out of me, and it takes a lot of spoons that I should spend on other things that I can use to make new memories. And I like making new memories. I like making new memories with new games. I like making memories with new folks. That's also fun. I don't have to keep doing the MMO thing. So I try not to. I try to keep myself from doing that again. When World of Warcraft Classic came out in 2019, I got into it, and I got into it a little bit too much. And I spent a little too much time trying to fit in with a crowd of people that I shouldn't have been trying to fit in with. Not because they were bad people necessarily, but they didn't really care about me as much as I cared about fitting in with them. And I spent way too much time playing a game and trying to put time into a game where I wasn't getting as much out of it as I thought I was going to. And I sacrificed a lot of my time from spending time where I should have been spending it. And I don't want myself to fall into that trap again. And I would caution those who may not have much experience with MMOs to also, be careful about how much time you spend on certain things. It's fine. It's fine to have a good hobby where you put lots of your time into it. That's fine. But just be aware of what you're getting back out of it and what you may be taking time away from, because sometimes it can, you might be making a sacrifice you don't actually want to make. Who knows? Game responsibly. Game responsibly, actually. Be a healthy gamer. Be a healthy gamer. Play Minecraft instead. Play Minecraft instead of World of Warcraft. Different craft. In Minecraft, you're exercising your creative expression. You are designing something. You're building something. It works out that part of your mind. That's cool. I like Minecraft for that. Minecraft's really good for that. Bum 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 bada bada bum bum. I feel like playing a game a lot is something that helps me get good enough at that game to I would say good enough at it to stream it. So playing a whole bunch of games that I'm not familiar with, I'm not sure how well that comes across, but I'm kind of at the point in my life where it's it's hard for me to get into a new game and have it be novel. It still happens sometimes, but most games nowadays don't scratch the itch the same way games used to when video games themselves were novel. I remember playing the first Sims game. Wow, I put a lot of hours into that. It's a very simple game. back then it was really something else. I wonder if I don't know. I want Skyblivion to come out. That's gonna scratch all sorts of nostalgia for me, but like in a brand new way. I'm like super excited for Skyblivion. I get to go back to Cyrodiil, but like in a way that it's like slightly unfamiliar, but it's still familiar, but it's different, but it's still the same. That's the kind of thing. That's the kind of like refresh that makes something just new enough that I like dive back into it. So I could see myself putting a lot of hours into something like Skyblivion. I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably gonna put a lot of hours into that, but it's not too familiar. It's a bit like deja vu. Yes, but not too not familiar. Yes, it's not so different that you're like, all this stuff. Actually, you know what? I will say this. Bethesda's like Elder Scrolls series, like especially Oblivion and Skyrim, but then also like a lot of the Fallout ones they've made. They're pretty good in regards to like they're not too difficult to figure out how to get them, and they're not too difficult to just play in general. You don't come across bugs or glitches that will cause you to lose a bunch of progress and then be sad with that. Also, I just now noticed that the chat program I'm using incorrectly capitalizes the first character of your username, Digi, and of Toy's name as well. Those aren't supposed to start with a capital. It's weird. I don't know. I'm using something. What am I using? What am I even using? It's by Night Dev. The same people who made Nightbot. It's by them. I don't remember what it's called. Yeah, I don't know. With the capital D there, it feels like it's referring to some other Digi or something. Bit of a like depersonalization experience with the username. But I was thinking about like, oh, maybe I could play a game I could play on stream. Maybe would be like, SnowRunner. But I was like, but I've had a few problems with that game where I will do something and then like I'll make a lot of progress and then I will lose all of that progress. A bit of a getting over it type of a situation. I'll lose all that progress just like tipping the truck. Rehumanizing, derogatory. Yeah. Forced humanization. Bad. Parentheses. But yeah, I've had a few times playing SnowRunner where like the game has like screwed me over a little bit in such a way that like I've actually just stopped playing it. Like I've just stopped playing the game because I'm worried like, oh, what if I'm trying to play it and like I get along and then like I lose a bunch of progress because it like messed me up. So SnowRunner is one of those games that would have been a good stream game, but like it's just like broken just enough, just bugged just enough that like I can not want to play it anymore. Fate worse than death. That's so true, Pancake. That's why we do trigger warnings for forced humanization. Force hue. That doesn't sound right. I got other games on my list that I don't know. My phone's got games on it. I got other games that I might want to play. I'm looking forward to Skyblivion like the most, I gotta say. That's definitely going to be a stream game. I don't know if I'm going to play it immediately on release. I might play it immediately on release. I hope they tell us at least a little ahead of time so I can like prepare myself. But I am playing that on release. Even if it's bugged. Even if it's bugged, I'm going to play it on release. What else do I have? Oh, I was playing an H game on Steam earlier this morning. Oops. No one has to know that. That was like early in the morning. That was like before work. Oh, the RoboLife 2 game is on sale. I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna be playing Signalis in October. Like replaying it. Abiotic Factor might be a fun stream game. I'm also, oh, what else do I have? I'm just looking through my Steam games. There's games I haven't played that have been mean to, like One Shot. I always want to like try a game out before I play it on Steam or play it on stream, because if I end up like not liking it, I don't want that to just like immediately come through on the stream. Abiotic Factor is pretty neat. I need to complete the story. I haven't gotten very far in it, but I plan to, because it does seem pretty neat. Pancake says she would join for Abiotic Factor. That's pretty cool. You would also do that. We could do like a little bit of a co-op thing there for stream, a little bit of a hive mind stream. That could be fun. Oh, I remember when we were playing Void Crew and we all got kind of like screwed over by the mines spawning like right on top of us. That's kind of what I'm talking about when I say like a game is like mostly pretty good, but there's like one or two bugs that will just like kind of just do that and tilt you, and then you're just kind of like, well, shoot, I don't know how much of this I want to play right now if it's gonna do that to me. So that's kind of what I'm talking about with like SnowRunner. Is this something like that would happen and you're just like, well, damn, okay, I need to put this down for a bit. And you come back to it, sure, but like you're always wondering in the back of your head, is it gonna do it to me again? Who knows? Oh, you know what I could also probably play on stream? Saints Row. That's a really old game. It's Saints Row 2 is my favorite, sort of. I don't know, I like Saints Row 4 a lot too, but Saints Row 2 is so old that like if you look at the player models now, they just look like, I don't know, upsetting. Like for the player character specifically, I cannot customize it in any way that I like the way that it looks. So when I've like tried to replay Saints Row 2, I will just like, I will cover my character's head, like head to toe, so I just don't have to look at my character, because it just doesn't look good. Not the same problem for Saints Row 4. Saints Row 4 is a lot like a superhero or supervillain type of a game. Pretty fun. Hello, Gordon. Get your dork ass down to the test chamber. Modded Stardew Valley. That's another thing that's on my like to-do list for like it's pretty far down on like the priority for the to-do list, but I still want to like make a mod for Stardew Valley. But the problem is that that's one of those things where like to do it, I have to learn a new skill. I feel like every single thing every endeavor I want to embark on involves learning a new complex skill. And like learning to mod a new game isn't usually that hard, but like, I don't know, I feel like I should pick a hobby where I don't have to learn something new every single time. It gets kind of old learning to do something new every single time. I want to just like get better and better at something so that I can make something better and better. I'd love to be able to like draw or like get better at like the guitar or the bass guitar. Or like, oh, it'd be really cool to be able to like sing. That's gonna require voice training for sure. But yeah, those are just a few games that I have possibly lined up. Is definitely replaying Signalis. Abiotic Factor seems like it'll be a good time, and then Skyblivion. So it's not a huge lineup of games, but with how seldom I stream, that's probably not going to be an issue, especially with Skyblivion. I could probably put 100 to 200 hours into Skyblivion easily. Which, if I'm streaming for approximately 3 hours, and if I do that every week for a whole year, that's 150 hours. Yeah, that's like one whole year of streaming just with one game. So I'm not worried about it, actually. I feel like I should be a little bit more worried about having a bigger lineup of like, oh, what am I going to play? But like, the reality of it is that I don't stream often enough for that to be an issue. I would kind of like to stream twice a week so that I can feel like I have a little bit more of that there. But you know what? I feel like I would pressure myself too much. So maybe not. Right now, doing it like even just like every other week because I'm just like really busy with like, oh, like my roof needs to get, they're saying my roof needs to get replaced. I'm having an insurance adjuster come out and like on Monday and sort of tell me how accurate that is. Because if insurance doesn't pay for it, it's not gonna get done. That's the reality. If insurance doesn't pay for it, I can't afford it. So, but if insurance pays for it, then no problem. I just do it. A little bit of noise, sure, but like, yeah. Roof removal. Oh, I downloaded a bunch of demos. I might play a bunch of demos, especially these like creepier demos during October as well, since I don't imagine Signalis will take up the entirety of October. Probably, maybe. But we got stuff like, oh, well, this one isn't horror, but Ellen, Elin, looks really cursed. Gosh, I forget how someone else described it, but it was like, gosh, it was like RuneScape. It's like meets like, I don't know, like Gunnar RuneScape or something like that. Does that help describe it? Probably not. It's really weird. It has Steam Workshop support. Oh, here's a review for it. I played the piano so poorly I was publicly executed for it. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Let's see. I got focused on a work thing and lost track of the convo and came back in my brain and tried to connect things where less paying attention. I'm very confused by why the insurance would be paying out for Stardew Valley modding. That would be really nice. I'd love to be able to get like a job doing that. Yeah, I think the publicly executed for playing the piano poorly, I guess that kind of describes the game. It's a little bit of an immersive sim itself, but not really. Oh, what does it describe itself as? It's the successor to the roguelike RPG Elona. Adventure, survival, crafting, home building, myths passed down, and stories of humans and Elise spun. Yeah, it looks weird. I love weird. Evo Space? Oh yeah, that's just a Satisfactory clone. Oh. What's the game? That is like that's really cool. No Signal. I'm definitely gonna be playing No Signal in October. Remind me of that if I forget. between that and Signalis, that might take up most of October. But if it doesn't, I also have demos from games called Last Report. That looks pretty creepy. Monstronomy looks like a horror Pokemon thing. Prison of Husks looks kind of creepy, maybe not necessarily horror. Again, I like to go for games that are creepy and not necessarily horror. I like the vibe of like a kind of dark aesthetic. But I'm also very easily scared. Scarlet Hollow, which is by the same people who made Slay the Princess. Yeah. A lot of interesting games I could have lined up for October. And possibly if I like some of these demos after October. But I don't know when Sky Oblivion's going to come out, and I'm going to want to play that like as soon as it releases. So I'll play. So this is how it's going to go. Is October's going to roll around, and I'm going to start playing my replay of Signalis. And then I'm going to move on to No Signal. And then I'm going to move on to some of these other demos, kind of one at a time. What was the one I talked about before? Oh, maybe Abiotic Factor somewhere in there, depending on how other people feel. Yeah. I'm gonna have a lot of stuff going on. I'm pretty excited for it, actually. I'm pretty sure Unbeatable comes out this year. Oh, snap. Unbeatable comes out November 6th. That's a game I don't know if I'm going to stream. But I am sure as heck going to play it. So, yeah. Gosh, I love the demo for that so much. There was another game demo I played and I'm looking forward to, but I don't know. Steam will tell me when my games release. I go to my wish list and do sort by release date. Okay. Oh, Beyond the Doors. That's a game that's like Voices of the Void. A Void-like, if you will. Ooh, The Darkness Delivers. This looks like a dark Yuri game. Like a doomed Yuri thing. That comes out next year. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's gonna be on my own time. Wink. Oh, I want to play Split at some point. That one's supposed to be good. By the same person who did... Buckshot Roulette. Oh, there's a lot of games that I have been meaning to like try or play. Grun. Yeah. A lot of cool games here. It's a good time to be a gamer, honestly. There's so many indie games. It's really easy to get a bunch of inexpensive games and to just support a bunch of small creators and still have a really, really good time doing it. It's a great time to be a gamer. And honestly, I'm proud to be a gamer. I don't know if I would go so far as to fly a gamer pride flag. I think that would probably not be a good thing. If that was a thing, that would probably be not good, whatever it is. I think if gamers as a group collectively came up with a pride flag, I would not fly it. I think that would be weird. But it's a good time to play video games. It is a good time. It's a good time to play video. I'm getting quoted. Okay. I think on that bombshell, I'm gonna find someone to move this hot party onto. Today was just a chatting day. I wanted to info dump about why it had been a little bit since I've streamed. And just kind of get the file system stuff off my chest, because honestly,